Welcome back to Feed the Post. I am your host, Joe Jackson. So today, back with another podcast. I want to try something a little bit different. We'll see how it goes. Well, if it goes well, if not, then it might be a little bit shorter of a podcast than I was expecting. But going to go through the normal, just kind of transfer portal update where Big Ten teams are at. But then I want to try a live film breakdown of incoming Purdue freshman Kanon Catchings. If this goes well, then I plan on doing a lot more of these kind of live film breakdowns. But we'll see exactly what happens, where, if it works, if the stream works, all that stuff. So let's get into it. We're going to start with probably some of the bigger news within the past week in terms of Big Ten basketball, and that is the Rienk Mast injury. He has announced he is going to have left knee surgery, and so he will have to miss the entire 2024-25 season. He will be medically redshirting, so he does keep his COVID year eligibility for one more season. So he'll have the option to come back the following year if he so chooses to do so. Obviously, that's a big hole for Nebraska and a big piece to lose. Hope that the surgery goes well, recovery, all of that is good for Rienk, because he had a really good year for Nebraska last year. He is pretty easily a top 2-3 player. I think there's a legit argument that he's their most important player. Now they do have to fill that spot. They have Braxton Mia, who's he's a 7'1", pretty much pure rim protector. Also, kind of just finishes lobs on the other end. Andrew Morgan's more of a power forward center type. And then you do have Juwan Gary, but unless I'm missing somebody, which I don't believe I am, those are really the three bigs, is Gary, Mia, and Morgan. And I kind of looking at it, how I view those players, I do have to watch more film on Andrew Morgan to be fair, but the way I view those players is like, if things go perfectly, then me and Morgan combined for all 40 minutes at the center spot, and Gary and Morgan combined for 35 minutes at the power forward spot. So like, at minimum, in my mind, if things go perfectly, it's still 5 to 10 minutes at the power forward spot. Maybe that's just Gavin Griffiths. They do have 2 open roster spots, so I would expect one of them to be used on some sort of big, and then probably one on the wing. And we'll talk about that in a second. But my realistic guess is they probably need somebody who can play 10 minutes at the power forward and 10 minutes at the center, unless they want to get kind of weird or whatever with terms of roster construction. Do they go smaller? Things like that are kind of ways you can combat that. So very big news for Nebraska, not missing out, but losing Rienk Mast for the year. Obviously, just hope everything goes well for him and the surgery and all of that. So don't need to spend too much more time on that, I don't think. Kind of covered what I needed to there. Next is the transfer portal update. So there wasn't a ton of movement from last podcast, which was Thursday, to this Wednesday currently. Biggest name probably was Sean Stewart transferring to Ohio State from Duke. I do have a film thread out on my Twitter at Joe Jackson CBB if you want to see more of kind of a film breakdown of him. He's a sophomore power forward big, and really the draw with him is super athletic, really good rim protector, but he is just so raw on the offensive ends. And I think when you pair, if him and Aaron Bradshaw are paired together on the floor at the same time, you have 2 sophomore bigs who have a lot of upside, but also it's a lot of upside. It's not a lot of realized in terms of talent and production from last year. So I don't love the fit together, truthfully, between the two. Stewart's not a shooter at all. Bradshaw, if you're optimistic, then you think he can be a fine shooter. If not, then you're playing 2 non-shooters next to each other. Now, they are both athletic, both can somewhat protect the rim, so we'll see what happens. Illinois freshman Tomislav Ivisic, I haven't watched film on him yet. I know they just got him. He's a freshman. The upside from what I hear is that he's pretty much a skilled 5-man, can shoot. Fits kind of what Illinois seems like they would want to do then. I do kind of, based on the roster construction, think Illinois is going to put up a lot of threes this year. I know they're also in the talks or potentially getting Igor Demon. I don't think it's been officially announced by my kind of what I've seen, but he'll be another name to watch for. Minnesota gets Trey Edmonds from UTSA. Haven't watched him a ton, but seems like another just kind of true big for them. He's not going to step out and shoot. Rebounder, size, kind of just what they're looking for there. Just fill that Pharrell Payne hole. And then Washington gets a similar player to Trey Edmonds, and that is Chris Conway, who was on Oakland last year. A bit undersized for a true big. I think he's listed at 6'8", but plays kind of a true 5, true center type look. So, like I said, not a ton going on. there's still some roster spots open, and I'll kind of read through those right now. My last podcast, which I am sorry for the poor audio on that one. If it's poor audio again, definitely somebody let me know. But from my understanding, from what I've heard, it sounds much better this week. But last week, I went through kind of a more detailed breakdown of where everybody stands in terms of returnees, transfers, freshmen, all of that. Now, I'll just quickly run through how many scholarships are open for each player. Most left in the Big Ten is Washington at 4. Danny Sprinkle still has some work to do in terms of filling out that roster. Illinois is the only other team with more than 2. They have 3 left, but like I said, Igor Demin, like I saw something that he might be officially committed, but it hasn't gone through verbal commits for me. So they're still at 3, likely to get to 2 soon. Then you got a slew of teams at 2. That's IU, Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, Oregon, and Rutgers. A lot of teams at 1 in Maryland, Michigan, Michigan State, Northwestern, Ohio State, and USC. And then you have 3 teams at 0: Penn State, UCLA, and Wisconsin. They have been that way for over a week now. And then Purdue is still at -1, but they're basically full. Whatever happens with that last one, they'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about that for them. So that's kind of where it stands for me in terms of where the Big Ten is at. I know there's a dead period coming up sometime soon. That might not be for a couple weeks. And I mean, I don't know exactly what that'll entail in this day and age, but like in general, that means that like you can't really I believe it's no in-person contact is allowed to be made between coaches and players. And I think it's very limited in terms of non-in-person contact that's allowed to be made. So we'll see what happens there. Like I said, I think that's in a week and a half, 2 weeks, the dead period. And what I'm trying to get at there is I wouldn't expect many confirmed roster additions in that time period. So maybe we see a lot within the next week or two. Maybe for some of these teams it drags on. Like there's, I'm looking at like Michigan State, and they would probably still want a big, but maybe it is Tom Izzo's just going to kind of float with one. Or Northwestern, I know, is after a guard. They might just give it to Blake Smith if they don't get a guard. But Ohio State, USC, I know has been rumored to fill that spot. But there's a bunch of these teams that have 1 or maybe 2 left. Maybe they are just kind of holding out. I know in terms of NIL and stuff too, they're trying to maybe see if the market will drop on certain types of players, especially if you are after a big. I know bigs and sharpshooters, their NIL has been kind of through the roof in terms of what it's kind of demanding, which is the day and age that we are in. And so, yeah, going to be interesting. Washington is still the team that has a ton to do. Illinois has some work to do, but like I said, I would expect that to drop to 2 pretty quick, if not more. And then, yeah, it's just a bunch of teams kind of filling out those end pieces. Some of these players will be, more under the bench. There might still be a couple starters and things like that left, but also wouldn't be shocked if becomes more the time period, at least in the future, where it's like right away you try to get your stars, your 6-man stuff like that. And then this later is kind of you get, that sophomore that didn't get a good role as a freshman. Like, oh, okay, maybe we can develop him for a year, and then he turns into something. So that is where that is at. And now I think I'm going to try to get this live stream going. We'll try to get to Kanon Catchings. Like I said, if this works, I hope it does. Then I do plan on doing a lot more of these, as everybody kind of knows. If you're tuned in, if you are new, I kind of want my channel to be centered around film breakdown within the Big Ten. If you followed me throughout this last season, I did a bunch of like post-game film breakdowns on here during the off season, which is 7 months. There's obviously a lot of kind of room to fill. I'm doing all these freshman and transfer threads on Twitter. So I thought, you know what, why not try to do it just live on YouTube here? The only worry is that it gets shut down. If that happens, then obviously if I randomly disappear, that is why, is because it got shut down, but I believe I'll be good. So let's get into it then here with Kanon Catchings. He is the top ranked recruit for Purdue coming in out of their 6-man class. 6'9", 190-pound wing, played for Cold Hearts OTE last year, is from Brownsburg, Indiana, where he did play for his first 3 seasons. Last year for Cold Hearts OTE is overtime elite, 23.7 minutes per game, 14.5 points, just under 6 rebounds and assists, half a steal a game, shot 67% from 2, 36% from 3, 72% from the free throw line. And yeah, I mean, he's out of the, which is a big Purdue freshman class of 6 players. He's the highest ranked. He'll be the one that gets the most buzz preseason, rightfully so. I have not watched too much film. I've watched 1 game live, which he didn't really play all that much, to be honest. And I've caught a little bit here and there, but with these, I just try to come in honestly with a blank mind and let the just film kind of dictate what I think of players. Like I truly don't know what Kanon Catchings is ranked right now. I know he was highly ranked just from before, but like I've kind of realized this year I don't really want to know rankings. At least right away. I want to gauge my own personal opinions, and then from there can kind of figure out, okay, this is where I think of the player, and then compare it to what other people think. So, stalling long enough as I was getting stuff ready, let's get to it. So, Kanon Catchings is number 8 right here. I believe, yes, you can see my mouse. I believe you can. If somebody can let me know if you can see my mouse for sure, I believe you can. Yeah, let's just get into it. I've never done this live. I've never had to, sort of quote unquote like entertain as film is happening. So we'll see what happens. Kanon Catchings number 8 right here. Starts off right there with trying to put back dunks. So I don't know how much I'm going to be talking or not, or just watching and making comments. Yeah, because most importantly, I do want to provide legit breakdown and legit analysis, but that's going to be a little bit hard to do if there is complete talking. So as long as everybody's cool with a little bit of silence in between, that's probably what will happen. If this is on audio and I keep this part in, then I'll put the YouTube link in the description as of right now, where I'm live breaking down one of Kanon Catchings' games. If not, then obviously there's no need to worry about that. So let's get into it then. So yeah, it's stuff like this. Like I'm live figuring this out with everybody. It's like when Kanon Catchings isn't making a play, like he wasn't there, then like what do I do? Do I just describe what happens? I don't know. Good close out there from him. Tough shot from Eli Ellis. Now Catchings, I know he's going to be more off ball. He's not going to be a guy that's on ball always and kind of demanding, but he has that capability. So you'll see him a lot. I know spotted up in the corner. Poor defense there from YNG. They get a quick 3. But yeah, he'll be a guy that is very comfortable playing off ball from what I've seen. You'll see him stuck in the corners a lot, but he still does have that on ball creation to him, kind of allowing him to be a multi-level threat. Worst part about this is the live games is fast forwarding for sure. Just trying to figure out, I don't really care about the opposing team's free throws. So I will say also in terms of the type of games that I watch, I don't look at the stats a ton ahead of time. All I really look at is I look at the averages a little bit, and then I see, okay, like this, is quote unquote like an average game for them. This is a good game. I try to watch at least one of each. If I had time for 3, I would do a bad, a good, and then like an average game. This is one of the closer to like average type games in terms of pure output for him, but that's kind of where I'm at with this. This is an average one, and yeah. Ooh, good block there. So it seems early he's playing more off ball, and that makes sense. I don't really think he'll be like a huge on ball defender. Primary isn't there, but he comes over and rotates, and I think that's just some of the athleticism you see right there of what he's going to be able to do. That isn't I don't think he's ever going to be like a rim protector per se, but he can be a guy that, he's 6'9", he's long, he is really wiry, and muscle being added will be one of the priorities for him. But he has that kind of upside of like, hey, he has the athleticism to try to do stuff down at the rim. Okay, got it. Ball in corner, jab step, J, bucket. Let's rewind that, watch that back. Okay, catches, jab, another jab, and just pull up. I mean, that's tough right there. That's tough. Let's see, jab step. I mean, look how much space he's kind of creating there too. And that's giving him enough space right here to actually be able to get this shot off. So Purdue offense isn't you're not going to see too many jab and J's type this, but again, in terms of what I'm trying to do for especially these freshmen is what exactly translates, what doesn't. This shot right here, maybe the jab itself doesn't, but he creates separation that he needs to get that shot off. That's something that I think can translate. Like that's something that excites me a little bit. and just being able to create that separation, I think it's going to be pretty important for him and basically everybody else. I did go to one of the live OTE games this year, and it is a production. Like it's different than high school. You see this like the vibe cam here or whatever. Like it's different. It's fun. It's a fun twist, I think. On kind of, not twist, but like a different, just a different style in terms of how it's run. So probably not for everybody, but I enjoyed myself. So again, you see him just kind of in the corner. That's where he's going to be, I think, a lot in terms of what Cold Hearts wants to run. Good kick out there. He's still in. Got to check. If he's not in, then that means if he's not in the game, it's an automatic fast forward. Okay, so let's see. Ellis brings it up. Empty sided pick and roll here. Gets through. So Kanon Catchings is the low man right here. And as the double kind of happens, I mean, that's a little bit unfortunate in terms of just getting stripped and then him getting the ball back. That's probably, yeah, I don't hate the rotation then. It's like I think he's not expecting Ellis to be able to recover this ball right here. And because if he is, that's going to probably be his job of getting over and trying to help protect the rim. That's the spot I could see him in at Purdue. He's just probably a half step late. I mean, I get it though. Like you don't really expect the guy to recover that. I liked what I've seen a little bit so far. I mean, it's only been 5 minutes, but in terms of kind of the weak side defense, which is where I think he would be, especially for kind of the Purdue level, guarding guys in the corner, guarding shooters, guarding some of these wings. I've liked some of the rotations so far that I've seen from him. This is definitely not going to Catchings. Hey, I was lagging a little bit, but I think he got that off too. That's just good touch, right? Oh, he didn't, according to the ref, but that's good touch right there. Yeah. Try to fast forward through all this. Okay, let's see if he's even in the game. If not, it's like I said, automatic fast forward. There he is, weak side corner right now. And again, so let's see, high ball screen. So YNG Dreamers goes Spain pick and roll. Spain is going to be this high ball screen, and then a back screen is also set for the screener. That's going to happen right here. And so now again, Catchings is weak side, so this is his job. If this big is caught up, right, in an ideal world, the big, let's see, what coverage is he in? He's looking to be in drop coverage. So yeah, in an ideal world, this big is going to just keep dropping back, and he's going to keep the ball handler and the roller in front. That is what Spain pick and roll, this back screen, is designed to do, is to kind of disrupt that. And so now as this switch happens, there's miscommunication here between Cold Hearts, and YNG does a good job of getting downhill a little bit and putting that pressure on. So now you have two go out to the top of the key. Once Catchings realizes that, like even if it's not necessarily his job in the first spot, because you want the big to get back, once he sees right here, this has to be rotation. You can't leave wide open at the rim. If the skip pass happens, you close out, you work from there. But just a little bit of a late rotation, doesn't really even get to try there. So that should have been a rotation right there, I think, for Catchings, and trying to at least attempt to block that. Mouse is visible. Thank you. Good to know. So yeah. Also is with this, like, if you guys enjoy, let me know. If you enjoy, like and subscribe. That's the best way of letting me know. You can see YNG. They just went back to the same Spain pick and roll. Big gets through it this time though. But also just let me know. Or actually, they're switching three ways. So they should have switched last time, but Catching still was late. And I'm going to stand with that. Good stunt there. Okay. As I got interrupted there, if you guys are enjoying, please like and subscribe. That's the best way of helping me out, allow me to do more things like this. But also, like, I am very much open to feedback if it's in terms of formatting, style, like different things like that. Like I said, this is my first time doing this on the fly. I'm kind of just learning right now. So definitely open to feedback. One pull-up jumper, a little bit long, but let's see how he gets to it. So sees the closeout right there. Okay, good job. He recognizes, okay, he has some inside leverage here. Gets to the one pull up. We'll see what happens. Like if for me, it's especially at this level, it's okay. I don't hate that shot, especially for him. He's a tough shot maker. It's more of if that is his only go-to especially when closeouts are really tight like that, then that's what it worries me. If he doesn't ever, and like I said, I've watched a quarter of him right now. If he never kind of gets into a drive and gets to an 8-footer or a layup or whatever, then this shot worries me more. As of right now, yes, a little bit of a tough shot, but I understand he's a tough shot maker and can get just kind of elevate over guys. So I don't hate it right there. And he's not in the game. Now, one of the harder parts of all this, the background stuff is just when is he back in the game? Is that him? Yeah, that is. So let's see this, and then finding high school stats and film also just incredibly tough. Let's see. He probably subbed in right here would be my guess. Yeah. Okay, he subs in this play. Got to get every possession we can on him. So again, weak side corner. That's kind of been his spot in terms of cold hearts. I wonder if I should watch one of his Brownsburg games where he's more on ball. That wouldn't be a bad thing. I don't know if that'll be a right now thing, but that might be a future. Probably like July or August after I get done with all these incoming freshmen and transfer threads. Okay. Full court press, on ball defense, man to man. They're just going to drop back. Let's see. High ball screen. Okay, so Catchings in high ball screen here. Let's see what happens. Is this just a switch? Okay, that's see, this is one tough thing is context. And I don't know the exact context. And what I mean by that right now is what is their plan defensively? Like what is his job supposed to be? Is this supposed to be a switch? Because if it's supposed to be a switch, he did his job perfectly fine. Is he supposed to be kind of in this drop coverage where he moves back and kind of gets more closer to the rim? If that's his job, he did it poorly. If it's supposed to be just a little bit of a show and recover, he didn't do that well either. You can see him kind of get caught flat-footed right there. But like I said, if this is supposed to be a switch, then this is on the guard or this guy right here. And so that good low rotation from the weak side there, but that gives up the bucket. I am going to clip that one. I'm also, I am live clipping this. So you'll see a thread come out later today on Kanon Catchings. Figure, I do this anyways. Why not do it live? Get some more in-depth commentary and see what happens. I also because I think there is a benefit of watching live game or highlights. I mean, in terms of evaluating a player, you get to quickly kind of get a grasp of what they're able to do. Why I watch full games and at least 2 full games for every newcomer is the goal. Is you get to see these little things like that Kanon Catchings. Is that supposed to be drop coverage? Is that supposed to be a switch? Was that his rotation? Was it not? You get to see those things as you watch a little bit more. Generally, you can add a little bit more context to it of what's kind of supposed to happen. And then from there, I think there's just so many little things that I'm not the best at picking up. It's also, one of the reasons is I'm trying to get better and better at this want to just see those things. Want to see oh, he made that rotation. Oh, he didn't. Oh, he caught the ball and moved. Or he's making a quick decision with it, even if it's not his shot or his assist. But there's just all those little things that you don't get from highlights per se that I want to try to find out to have the most complete scouting report. I'm going to be wrong on a lot of dudes. That dude's hype. But at the same time, I want to try to do my best because, might as well. It's what it's what I kind of built my brand on. Okay, so high pick and roll Catchings again, weak side corner over here. I wish the words wouldn't pop up every time. I also want to see Catchings and some on ball stuff. I'm hoping. I know his role was a lot of spot up, but maybe I will watch a Brownsburg game at some point. Okay, here you go. Gets it in transition. Draws the foul, or is that a jump? That's a jump based on his reaction. Yeah, jump ball based on his reaction. Let's rewind, I guess. Oops, two more. Okay, catches it. It really just goes straight at the guy. I don't know if the plan was just to elevate over. Obviously, just don't love the take, but yeah. Man, he's comfortable shooting the ball. So baseline out of bounds play. He's just going to flare to the top. I mean, that's with two guys on him. What was their shot clock at? Let's see. If this loads. Yeah, I don't know what to do about this then. If it's just not going to load. Yeah, but you can see right there, right? You can see the shot making kind of potential that he has, and I mean that's contested right there. That is two guys closing out on him right there. That's a tough shot. I'm gonna just refresh and we'll see what happens. I might get ads. Yeah. Okay. So tough shot there from Catchings. Going to try to get this back, going back up again. It seems like it's working. My bet on that. I think that's just going to kind of what happens with some of these live streams. And there we go. Okay. All right. Back live. Sorry about that. I think that's just going to be a part of it in terms of these live streams. I don't want this to be, crazy formal always. So like the stuff like that's just going to happen. I mean, that's just tough. Catches it, 19 on the shot clock. Okay, so there was plenty of time to do something. And this is, I mean, he can just rise up over people. Like that is two guys heavily contesting him, and it doesn't really matter. He can just go up, go over, and then make it. And that's that shot making that's going to be, like that shot making you can't teach. Now, I don't know if Matt Painter necessarily wants Kanon Catchings taking that shot, but there's still some value in like the ability to make a shot like that. 3 of 4. What was his other? He had the jab and J. Oh, that one at the buzzer must have counted, unless I missed something. Ooh, I want to see this. Okay. So as a screener, if he's playing the 4 at Purdue, and I think he will some, this is something I could see happening. So pick and roll, he's just going to pop. Now he's going to catch. Okay. Didn't love the take again. I liked handling the physicality right away. Handles it, defender gets into him. He handles it. He gets by. So far, it's only been 2 drives. And the big thing I haven't said it yet, but like, is sample size is something. I don't want to try to make judgments based off one play. To me, this play and that transition drive, it's not, oh, he's a bad driver. It's kind of cataloged of like, okay, if this keeps happening, then it's going to be more of a concern for me. But it could just be, like if you just caught 2 of his worst drives of the season, like it is what it is. So I think what I would like to see is some sort of counter. Right now, it's just kind of rising up over the top of the defense. That might have been a pass. He kind of got caught there too. Some sort of foul, but Uh, yeah, I I don't love the take, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I said, if it's just like a one off type thing, no big deal, or even a couple. Maybe he's not like the best driver, but still, I still think there's some um, driving skill to him because like 6'9", handles the ball well. This is something some people probably think it's cool. I think it's cool. Others don't. It's like unique. So instead of the bonus being like free throws, you get like this. I think it's a is it a 4 on it's either a 4-on-3 or a 5-on-4 with like this man trailing, and you get it. Yeah, so it's 5-on-3 with the fourth man trailing, and so basically it just creates these like fast break opportunities. I think it's valuable in terms of kind of getting these reps of like, hey, it's a unique situation. Catchings gets it. Not a great lob there. Probably should have been a lob or a bucket, but is what it is. So far, Catchings tough shot making. Have liked some of the defensive stuff. There's been a couple of mishaps, but I don't know for sure if that's him or if that's kind of elsewhere. Yeah, and then want to keep seeing the drives. Want to keep seeing him with on ball handle and kind of see where that goes. Pick and roll or pick and pop right there. More just getting the switch is what it seemed like. And now they're just going to ISO against the big. Catchings, if he slides over, probably has a shot. Good shot. Should I get like background music? Like I can't. I don't think YouTube won't let me like play Spotify or anything. But like, should I get some just like beat in the background just to kind of fill the silence that was right there? Let me know if I should. I'm sure I can do it. I would have to tinker with this a bit, but I'm sure I could figure out how to do that. Here he is, weak side wing. Has a shot if the pass comes. Uh, I don't know the point guard. Definitely looking to score though more than pass right now. But he also has hit a couple tough ones. They don't get back in transition, and it's a 3. Okay. That wasn't Catchings, but I just wanted to see the drive again. There's Catchings. Has been kind of loose with the ball from what I've seen. But also, I do think the refs are kind of allowing them to play physical. Not the worst thing, but I do think they're able to kind of both sides able to kind of reach in, get in a little bit, and go. YouTube is not liking when I fast forward right now. Okay, it's gonna be Catchings again, setting the screen. Gonna ghost out. Now it's just probably just gonna be ISO again. Does have a smaller guy on him. We'll see if he crashes. It might not be his job. That's a miss. All right, back to full screen finally. Cold Hearts in general, just defense has not been good. But really, both sides' defenses haven't been that good. Catchings isn't going to be involved in this. Eli Ellis does not get the floater to go. All right, so halftime. I'll try and fast forward to when he's in next. So this is probably when the game starts. I don't expect him to be in. Oh, no. Okay. So I need to rewind a bit. But yeah, halftime thoughts so far. The shooting is like he's already showcased the shooting. I mean, he shot 36% on 4 attempts a game. High school level, that is good. I believe average is closer to like 30 to 32. I can look up what exactly it is in terms of OTE, and you kind of want a reference point always of like 36 in college, you're solid. Like you're a good shooter. You're not like elite, but at OTE level, that might be like you're a really, really good shooter type. Um, let's see. Got a comment here from Taro Potato Uprising, I think. Seems like the shot selection at this level makes it hard to evaluate an individual's player potential at times. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's all about, it goes back to context for me. Like understanding what their role is at the high school level and trying to understand and project what it'll be at the college level. He won't have to be this, tough shot maker always at the college level, but at this level, he kind of is. So now knowing that, okay, he's just going to have to take tough shots. He's just going to be taking tough shots. That's who he is. Like now I'm trying to be like, okay, what parts of that translate? Is it, purely decision making? Is it that he just knows he can knock down shots like this? And then from there, what is the shooting like in terms of shooting level specifically? What is that actually at? Is he consistently making tough shots? Is he able to generate any sort of space that he needs, like he did on that first jab and J type? So, yeah, definitely a little bit tougher. It's just in general. And like this is my second year of watching all the incoming freshmen and transfers. Excuse me. And like it is tough to do because you're simultaneously needing all the context from high school while projecting into a college system that's going to be completely different. So take what you can. Like I said, I already know I'm not going to be quote unquote right. My goal isn't necessarily to be like right on these players. It's just to get as much background info as I can on them, to try to help form and shape my thoughts on how they can actually work at the next level. So good close out there. Looking for a switch. Catchings was looking for a switch there, I think. Yeah, he was. It doesn't happen. I mean, there's just the defense communication has not been good for Cold Hearts, truthfully. That's, I don't know. And that's another thing is Catchings has been involved in that 3-4 times now. So is it, how much of it is him? How much of it is just like a team aspect, Yeah, if you guys have questions or comments, definitely throw them in the thing. I'll bring them up. Try to answer any questions. I'm going to be as truthful as possible. And like, I haven't watched a ton of these guys, and so I'll say with what I can. I mean, he's just been in the corner. Tough shot there. Who was their point guard? I want to see more on-ball reps because I think he could like be a guy that run like kind of like what Fletch did this year or does. Sasha's done it at times. And I'm not saying Catchings is either of those players, but like being able to come off these pin downs and get handoffs, go. He's I don't know if he's ever going to. Oh my gosh, I don't know if he's ever going to be running pick and rolls or anything. And maybe he does. He might develop into that type of guy. But like just being able to create one or two dribbles, like I just want to see what that looks like for Catchings. So hopefully we see that pop up soon. Man, it is just hating when I fast forward sometimes. It isn't laggy for you guys, right? Because it isn't for me, and that was my biggest concern coming into this, is that this was just going to be crazy laggy. I haven't seen it so far. Okay. Rewinds for the free throw. But yeah, I do appreciate everybody that is tuned in so far. Knocks down the first free throw. We're watching Kanon Catchings. If you are just tuning in now, the Purdue commit from Brownsburg, but 6'9", he's like 190 pounds, pretty much a wing. I know there's a lot of upside as like this bigger guard. Thank you, Med Sis, saying it's good in terms of not laggy. I appreciate that. Let's see. Catchings. Okay, so he has 33 right here. Okay, so that's probably on the. And this, again, what is exactly the defense trying to do? So, like, if his job is the big, is to rotate and protect the rim, then yes, Catchings has two. He does probably have to stay with this guy. He does go over the top, and you would like him to go under, but I don't love the closeout either. I'm going to be truthful. Like, I haven't loved the defense so far. Like, I really haven't. I don't think, I've said a couple times now, I don't think Cold Heart's defense in general has been good, but also like there's plays like that where I think Catchings could have tried to close out. Maybe they do just live with the big shooting of three, and that's the scouting report. But I haven't loved some of the closeouts so far. Weak side corner, his man's tagged. Yep, skip pass should be there. This one is, I know it's not a good pass, but I do wish he just shot it right away. I know he made the one earlier, right, where it's that jab, double jab, and like it's pretty, like what he hit before. I think though right here, and I think it'll happen at the Purdue level, right? I'm gonna keep preaching context, but right here, like you have this lane. I don't think 10's a truly a big rim protector. I know it's a little bit crowded, right, with his teammate here, and he's forcing him baseline, so he's forcing him into it. But like if he can get that drive here, that should be a layup or probably a drop off to a big rolling. Instead, he settles for a jumper, not super in rhythm, jab and J. I just don't. I don't love that rep specifically. I want to see one of the things I want to see right now is drives. I've talked about the on ball stuff, and relating to that is drives. And this is only one single game. I'm going to watch more. I don't know if I'm going to watch another on film. My worry is because the other game I wanted to watch, I think, is technically on Amazon. I'm just worried that it gets taken down. I don't know. I think this coach got teed up again. Okay, defending the pick and roll, up near the level, refuse, sticks with this guy. Good stuff there. Gets the board. Good drop off. Yep. That's a good decision right there. Let's see. So gets the board, dribbles, keeps it away from the defender, engages that guy. What I like right here on this is that he does engage the big, right? And so by engaging this big a little bit, that frees up kind of this, forces the defense to have to rotate more, draws the foul. I like that rep there from him. That's a foul. Okay, well, oh, there you go. It's loading. I'm just gonna while the free throws are happening. Michael Mann says starting five prediction this season for Purdue specifically. I assume is what he's asking because we're talking about Purdue guy. Obviously, Braden and TKR are the two locks for me. I don't know if TKR is a 4 or 5 yet. I assume Fletch. I'm pretty confident it's going to be Braden Fletch. I need to watch more Catchings film before I fully get there, but this one's a little bit based on reputation. I wouldn't be shocked if it's Braden, Lawyer, Camden, Heidi, Catchings, and then TKR at the 5. I think that could be a really fun lineup. You get Heidi in there for defense. You get the shooting with Lawyer, with Catchings, with Braden, even with Heidi too. TKR can be his 5. I'm worried incredibly about rim protection if that is the lineup, but Catchings at least has some of that as the upside. Heidi has some as a weak side kind of rim protector. TKR just has to take a jump there. Mad says Braden, Lawyer, Colvin, Heidi, TKR. Wouldn't shock me either. I do think Heidi's a 3-4, kind of like Catchings, where Catchings can play either spot. I think Heidi fits that mold too of being able to play either of them. That does allow you to get Colvin in. This is also assuming, like, I haven't watched Jakari Harris, but I know the dude can hoop. I also don't lock in Lawyer specifically if like Purdue wants to go. Like I think there's a scenario where Purdue wants to go Braden, Colvin, Heidi, Catchings, and TKR. He did average just about 6 boards a game. I think he's shown that a little bit of just he hasn't gotten like a ton of boards specifically, but I think he's done a good job of being involved in rebounds, and sometimes that matters just as much, if not more, than like the actual ability to go get a rebound. Strong side corner, quick tag. They switch with the big. Good job there. Staying on this weak side corner, his job would be any cutter. It worked out. I don't know if he lost that big on purpose, but jumps. Oh. So he gets caught in the air on this kick out. I know you respect him as a shooter. I guess it's one of those where the ball handler gets the arms as he's going up. Yeah, I understand. I understand a little bit why Catchings is upset. Taro Potato Uprising. Thoughts on a Berg rim protection lineup? Do you mean like who I think would pair with that, or just in general what I think of that? I'm going to answer just in general one. Berg is a whole, and excuse me. He's very much a. You just need to see it in terms of bigger minutes. I truthfully liked the flashes of like what he was able to do, but it was a lot of garbage time minutes, right? But I thought he was productive. I think the mobility needs to improve to be like a full rim protector. The guy there's Jacobson, who's I haven't watched film on. I'm probably watching film on him either today or tomorrow. But he'll have a chance to kind of be that maybe rim protector. Also, like I know First had an awful season last year. I'm not saying he will be very good this year, but like there's still a part of me that thinks he can get back to that level where I think he'd play a more natural 5, be a full rim protector, doesn't need to do a ton on offense. So I think there's that as well. If you were talking about who I think would pair with Berg, then just let me know in the comments and I can get to that too. Umog says, is Catchings the next KD? Some are saying, not me, but some are. Hey, who knows? 6'9", can dribble, can shoot, wiry. Maybe he's going to average 25 a game next year and be the second overall pick. I doubt that, but also Ulamog, I made sure my audio was good just for you. So if it isn't good, then let me know. But it should be good. My audio should be much better this time. Okay, weak side corner. And that's just it's kind of right. It's what you're dealt with. And that his role is off-ball defense. Okay, he's going to be brought into this pick and roll, this 5-4 pick and roll. And then it's just ISO. I mean, he does his job there. He sticks with his man. That's just what you're supposed to do. Medsis says TKR 4 and Berg 5 would be fun if Berg makes some massive jumps, gets some flexibility at the 2 and 3. I mean, yeah, that is the possibilities. If TKR's the 4, then you can pair like a Berg next to him or a Jacobson or even a first. It does if that happens, and I'm sure TKR will play some at the 4. If that does happen, there's a lot of dudes competing for the 2 and 3. You got Lawyer, Colvin, Heidi, Catchings, and then even like Harris and CJ Cox kind of at the 2 spot. If I forgot somebody, let me know, but I don't think I did. Makes it tougher. But I'm sure there will be some of that. So again, corner has a really bad skip pass. Tis how it goes in terms of film watching. Sometimes he just isn't on ball. He is, it's not a bad thing. He's efficient in his looks. He shot 67% on 2s, 36% on 3s, only 1.5 turnovers a game. Like he was efficient in his spots, which is a good thing, right? He doesn't need 40 touches a game or anything to be this productive player. Now, I think he has potential to develop into that, but not 40 touches, but no, not 40 touches, like 15, 20 shots. But it's still good to see that he can work off ball. He doesn't need it in his hands all the time, and he can still be a productive player. And I don't think he's on the floor anymore. No, that's 6. Okay. Fast forward, try to get where he's back in. He might not come back in until the end of the or the beginning of the next quarter, I mean. Don't see him still. I wish they did. Where is it? I wish they did this more in college, and I don't have volume on for, truthfully, for copyright reasons, but I wish that they did more of this where you can like actually get into the huddle and see, not just like you got to play hard. And we all know the famous Painter clip, but I think it would be cool to see more stuff like that. WNBA does a good job of that. I'm excited for the W. I am going to the Fever home opener. Got my ticket secured, so I'm excited about that. He's still not in. And I'm just going to fast forward to the fourth because I don't think he's in till then. Now, they do, yeah. The fourth quarter is a 12-minute quarter. So the first three quarters are 8 minutes, I know, for OT, and the fourth quarter is 12. Is he in? He would be in this week's strong side corner now. There he is. Oh, that's a good cut. That should have been a. It might have needed to be a drop off. Michael Mann. Any inside scoop on the scholarship situation? I have no sources at all, but my guess is, either Benner's going to become a walk on. Benner becoming a walk on is probably my guess. In-state tuition, so it's going to be cheaper as it is compared to these out-of-state dudes. I expect him to redshirt anyways. So Benner just taking, becoming a walk-on is probably my guess, or he takes a prep year. But I know there really hasn't been talk about that. Matt says, "What do you know about my Sky?" Hey, good ball club over there. I'm excited. I'm excited for the W just in general. It was a good close out there. Again, so just off ball, it isn't anything fancy, but he does his job. Good pass ahead there. Right decision making. Pressing. Okay. That's not his. I mean, doing his job right there. Doing his job. Man, allergies are getting me. My throat is starting to hurt. I recorded sneak peek. I have an ED video coming out tomorrow. If you're listening to this tomorrow, depending on when you listen, it should be out. Just kind of documenting ED's rise and how he really got better. But I recorded that audio before this. Allergies. Now I've been talking by myself for 52 minutes, or not by myself, but talking out loud by myself. Obviously, I appreciate everybody that is in the chat. But yeah, throat's a little sore. Who do you guys want me to do next? Obviously, I'm not going to do this for every single player, but I'd like to do a few a week. So I'm planning on probably doing Jakari Harris tomorrow. Tomorrow, question mark. And then, I only have a couple more Purdue guys. I'll be moving on. But let me know in general, like throughout the Big Ten, who you for sure want to see in terms of transfers or incoming freshmen. Ulamog says, audio is indeed great. Thanks. Yeah, I got you. I saw your comments after my last podcast, and I was shocked. I was like, wait, my audio wasn't good? And then I looked, I was like, oh, yeah, just literally never picked up on mic. I'm trying to fast forward through the stuff, but then YouTube is like buffering a bit, and I don't want it to like pause again, but I also don't care about. I mean, is there another technical? Was it just on that shove? I just realized now I had headphones in this whole time. I haven't needed them. I checked, used them to check right away that my audio was good, but I have not needed them since. All right. Let's see. I would like to see a catching defensive play. Get him involved in the action. That'd be cool. Weak side. Okay. Little thing, but I do think that's good. So screen happens. Cold Hearts miscommunicates the switch. Ball handler gets down. So this means this low man right here is going to have to come over and rotate. That puts Catchings in this 2-on-1 right here. And does a good job. Just a step, right? Maybe would like him turned a little bit. Because if this kick does happen, I think it's a little bit harder of a closeout, but recognizes he has 2-on-1 right here, fills kind of this gap. He gaps it is what it's called. And so like that right there, you move on to the next guy. And that's sometimes all you need for defense is you don't have to be the one to make the specific stop. You just need to be doing your job so that way the ball just kind of keeps moving and your defense can keep rotating and keep trying to recover. Weak side corner here again from Catchings. Not really attacking the glass. Don't know if it's his job or not to. Might get one here. You can see even just right there, though, like, he can just get up. Like, look how quick he gets up there. And that was easy, too. That was straight, just not a ton of prep time, just going straight up. Okay, so now he's low man. Good job coming up. This is probably just going to be 15 Eli Ellis taking a lot of shots in terms of what YNG is going to do offensively. That's got to be a foul, right? Wow. I don't know what just happened, but alrighty. I think the OTE thing is interesting in terms of a player development too, right? A guy like Kanon Catchings, who played in a really solid system at Brownsburg, he goes from being the guy getting all these on-ball reps to like he is playing with much better talent. And Brownsburg, I know, was good. He's playing with much better talent, but he's also like giving up a role and maybe playing closer to what he would at Purdue, but also like he lost a year of potentially even developing those types of reps of terms of on-ball, being the guy. Pick and roll, shot creation type stuff. I feel like I need background music. That might be added to the future. It'll be quiet, but I don't. Maybe you guys don't mind the silence. I don't know, but I don't love it. What a pass! So I mean, Cold Hearts is pressing right now, so it makes it a little bit tougher to evaluate pure man to man, just because of what they're doing. If this didn't buffer, that'd be great. I do appreciate everybody tuning in. And this is obviously something that you can go back to later in the summer. The goal is to kind of build up this catalog of like, oh, I'm curious about this guy, and then you could just go watch the guy, whether it be a Twitter thread, which at Joe Jackson CBB, or here on YouTube. Like I said, I'm gonna get, especially the freshman is a lot. Incoming freshman is a lot better, I think, for film analysis, just in terms of what I'm able to do, because there's just less of a chance that I'm gonna get like taken down or anything like that. But even some of the transfers, I think there's a workaround I have that should allow me to do these transfers too. I think I can pull it up right. I don't want to use RAM, but I think I have like 100. 120 once all the spots are full, and I think I have like 40 freshmen left. So whatever that, or I have like 100 transfers, so like 70 transfers. That feels about right. I mean, what is going on? I just want to watch some hoops. Don Lewis, Antoine Walker. Okay. Now we're getting back into it. I guess I could, like, obviously this is about catchings, but if you guys want me to like kind of talk through more just individual, like the plays themselves too, this is again going to be kind of Spain pick and roll, setting this back screen on the roller. He's going to pop out. You see Purdue do it. Guard gets downhill. One time Catchings is in that corner is the time he would have got a shot. I know I believe Catchings ended up with 17 in this game, and I think he's at 8 or 10 right now. Okay, weak side corner on a drive. That should be his rotation. Coming over to protect the rim, especially. I mean, he's kind of playing the 4-5 right now. That's nobody to protect the rim once the guard gets by. I guess they're trying to peel switch this, is what it looks like. And so what that means is once this guy gets by, that means strong side corner is going to help take the guy, and then the guy guarding the ball handler is going to peel out back to the corner. But either way, Catchings does have to make this rotation. I don't know how much he'll have to do that at Purdue, but is that not even Catchings? No, it was. Good drive. Good. Ooh, tough finish. So ISO stuff. I mean, I don't know. Catchings was talking to somebody up there. I should have picked a better game. But it's also good you watch. It's good to watch stuff like this. Like I see his role. Okay, he's not. But at times it just is what it is. You want to see what his role is. You want to see what he can do. Sometimes just dudes aren't in high, high usage spots, and that's kind of what Catchings is right now. I mean, I can pull up his stats. I don't think it'll slow anything down. I'll pull up his stats while all this is going on. I do, like I said, I really do appreciate everybody tuning in and kind of sticking with this. Has been up and down for me, or not up and down, but like figuring out what I want to do here. I feel much better. I mean, yeah. So this game, this was. Oh no. Okay, so he had 10 points in this. No, not. No, he had 17. So he ends up with 17. And sometimes I like knowing that, sometimes I don't, because it's like I know that he's going to score. Okay, that's a good cut. Pterodactyl Potato Uprising says, I appreciate the play analysis about as much as the catching specific stuff. Helps put his decision making into context. So yeah, I can try to do that more. Also, will probably just help me in terms of analyzing the game better and kind of what's going on. And like I said, it goes back to context and kind of feel and what's going on. So Cold Hearts, double screen up top. Now YNG, they hedge there. That's a short roll. That's a good cut from Catchings. And so this is where something like Purdue might short roll more. And so what I mean is that roller, especially against like a hedge like this, Edie's going to be a guy, right? He was a guy that gets downhill. But you get the short roller in this 10-foot area. And now from there, if that happens, you read the defense comes up, that's got to be an automatic cut, and Catchings does. Honestly, if it's a lob, it's probably a dunk. But goes there. I don't know if he drew the foul or not. Doesn't looks like it was just out of bounds. So would have liked a better pass, but also, I mean, these are all like 17-year-old kids. So what are you going to do sometimes? Okay, here we go. So drive. He's weak side wing. He's going to get the ball. Catch. I mean, I know that doesn't go in, but like that was close. And just like that goes back to the whole, even if it doesn't go in, sometimes just the ability to have the confidence and like he creates the separation. He rises up. Purdue doesn't have a dude like that right now, really. Braden Smith to an extent, but like just go make a shot. And Purdue doesn't love the mid-range jumper, and for obvious reasons. It's a less efficient shot in general, but at times you just kind of got to do it. You got to have a dude that can. Okay, so that's a switch. That's a good switch then. Good rotation from Cold Hearts there, too, on the backside, helping protect the rim. Oh, yeah, one of their rules is I know they can just inbounds right away. I would assume Catchings makes this, to be honest. Drive, Euro is probably what the tough finish. Oops. So, yes, it comes on a little bit of a weird, but again, still like to see Euro. That's good body control, good finish at the rim right here. Sorry, I need to save that. Okay, so now I know what happens. Let's deep dive it a little bit more. Ball goes out of bounds. They have this rule where you can just inbound it. Okay, so it's a one-on-one. And you can pretty much tell the Euro's coming here. That's good recognition. If this with this defender with his backside like this, he's going to be coming in and generally this way, kind of towards this block. That's pretty much always going to be. You can just counter kind of with this Euro step. Um, Defense does a good job getting back. I think this is I forget his first name. It's the younger Ellis. I cannot rewind 5 seconds if I want to rewind just a little bit. Euro. And then that's just good. I mean, that's good body control, I think, right there, of just being able to absorb that contact, get up, get a good kind of weird angle. So this is the better drive we've seen from today from him. And that's exactly what I was looking for. Does he have that type of counter? Again, this is open transition, so it's different than just the pure half court, but just the ability to, okay, he has that Euro as a counter. That's something I'm going to note. When he struggled early on drives of not really having anything, here's something he could do to create some space over a smaller defender, absorbs a little bit of contact, gets kind of the little bit of a reverse finish going right there. Pull up 3, does a good job attacking. Yep, good board. Yes, that's what you want to see right there. That is, especially if he is going to play the 4. One of the things Purdue has done great has been a rebounding team, and that's obviously in large part because Zach Edey, man, and slaps the backboard and talks. We're going to run through it once more. If it lets me. Okay. Rewind once more. So he's weak side corner. This is his guy. He knows this guy is kind of out of position on the shot. And I mean, that's immediate. That's a good job here, recognizing that and immediately attacking, knowing that he has this entire kind of weak side area open to him. Gets it. Big time rebound right there. And then this is the athleticism, right? Can just go straight up, 2-hand dunk, easy. Those are little things that are in terms of the rebounding, even if he doesn't dunk it, right? That's a really good rebound. That's really good recognition. So that's great to see too. Okay, strong side corner. They switched that. Wouldn't been shocked if he peel switched that, and Ellis gets caught and just chucks it out of bounds. This is physical. Weak side corner again, so high pick and roll. Yep, swing one more. Yep, good shot. He misses, but still, good shot. Like the process. These are the ones you want him to take. And if you believe in him as a shooter, which I do, these are the types of shots you want him taking. In rhythm, corner 3. He misses. It is what it is. So they were just saving all the catching stuff for the end. That's what they were doing. Let's see. Where can I fast forward to? Or rewind that. Okay. Catchings is... Oh, that's a good job there, too, of just kind of... He right here. He's underneath it, right? This is a terrible position to get an offensive rebound. Now this is a decent position. He's kind of creates that contact. I have liked some of the rebounding stuff. I really have. There's crashing the glass when needed. I think that's been solid. Yep, good rebounds. Obviously nobody there, but going to be a drag screen. Oh, no, if he slips that, probably comes up and sets a screen. Catchings is one pass away. Strong side. I mean, what a pass. What a pass. Offhand, live dribble, skip pass. Again, Catching's not in the corner that time. He would have been the one to get that, but that's a good pass. Does it bug you guys that the words in that keep coming up? I don't think there's anything I can physically do about that, but it bugs me a little bit. Also, camera placement. Do you guys like the left corner? Has it been kind of in the way at times? I need to glance at it when the ball's on the other end, but is that okay? No. Let's see. It cuts off a little bit, but not too much. Okay, Catching's going to be guarding the big right here to setting the screen. So either This seems like the coverage was just for him to stick with the man, stick with the big. Yeah, and then they're just going to switch that. Miscommunication there. They're one of, Catchings was expecting this guy to stay with him and Catchings to dive back. This guy was expecting this to happen. Open three. He's going to drill that. Yep. So just there has been a decent bit of miscommunication defensively. That's something Catchings is going to have to do at Purdue. Like you're simply not going to get on the court unless you communicate the ball. Matt says camera's a little small. I don't know. Is that trolling or is that serious? Because I can make it bigger. Like, is that better? Or do you want more? Do you want me in that top left corner? I don't know. I'm new to this. Okay. Weak side corner. Yep. So Cold Hearts is switching a lot. It seems like what they're doing, and they're kind of like just trying to switch as much as possible. He's kind of Catchings here is kind of hugging right this corner a little bit. Means he's probably not his job to rotate. They're worried about maybe taking away a shooter. Eli Ellis goes with the step back. All right, got you, Med says. Is it good now, or does it still need to be adjusted a bit? Bucket. He distracted me. I mean, like Catchings is a shooter. He really is. And at 6'9", like he really is closer to a guard than like a big in terms of his skill set. Yeah, we're gonna watch it again. I just had to label that. Okay, so semi transition sorta. I mean, it just seems like the defense was out of place from kind of the YNG's reactions. Yep, defense out of place. Now Catchings has it. He has the space. He knows he's going to immediately go up in rhythm. Love the shot. Knocks it down big time. Big time shot to cut it to 2. They were down like what, 12? So big. I mean, shot 36%. I don't know his high school numbers, what he shot at Brownsburg or AAU. I could look those up though. Big time board there too. Like I've that's been something that stood out to me in this game is the rebounding. I think he's done a good job of being able to attack the glass, use his athleticism. I mean, you see here. Yep. Good job there. Yeah, there's the ball. And I also think he could be a guy that grabs and goes. And what I mean by that is just literally grab the ball and be the one that pushes it. I don't know if I love all the handle right now. We haven't seen a ton of it today, but I do think he's a guy that could do that, especially if he's like, and that's where he can just be kind of this matchup mismatch almost. If he's playing the 4 of like, he's playing the 4, but you're playing with 4 essentially guards and wings. And so, you have 4 guys that you probably trust handling at least 3 guys you trust handling the ball on the floor. Could be fun. But also, if he's the 3, then that means like he probably has like a 6'5" dude on him, and he might just rise up over people. Okay, so timeout there. And it should be back right about here. It's turned out to be a pretty good game. I think the defense has picked up a little bit in the second half, which has been good. Yep, there's Catchings right here. And okay, that was, I don't know if that's supposed to be a planned pin in, but it was. Now it's probably just gonna be a 2-man game. Yep, guard goes all the way. I mean, he's like that's a play where Catchings does his job. He's just kind of supposed to be spaced out. Let the point guard attack downhill and try to create. If he gets a kick out, let it fly. But that's what he's supposed to do. Defense. That was a really timely cut by them to draw Catchings' attention, so that way he couldn't help there. Still a miss. Minute and a half left now. Bucket. I like number 6 Calderon. I don't know much about him, but from what I've seen today, and the other game I've seen of them, I've liked his play. Okay, pushes. Catchings might get it here. Yep, that's him. Transition. Oh my god. Good look there. It doesn't fall, but again, this is sometimes it isn't as much about process as or not. It is about process, not as much about results as much as just like what is he able to do with the ball. And of course, it's lagging with a minute left now, but we're gonna try to get it. I might have skipped it, but either way, he's a guy that I think there is some shooting capabilities to him. Now we're gonna see it here. Okay, cool. You can see him call for the ball already, and then he gets it. Yeah, gets set, just misses. Almost a crazy putback dunk there too, but yes, he misses. Good shot and good process. Need a rebound. I don't know why he tapped it out. I guess his Catchings did let his guy kind of go by. Switch. Well, I don't know. Okay, so they switch. Catchings gets in, trying to cut him off, and then essentially just lets him go by and assumes that there's going to be a rotation. And this is where, okay, so even if that happens, right, with Catchings or just in general, I would like to see some sort of just get back into play, whether it be trail the ball handler or that this rotation's happening, that this weak side guy is going to try to probably have to take here. So then rotate back over, or even rotate here and push this guy back over. He kind of just stands there and they miss, obviously, but again, process. And so I think there's some, and that's something that when you get into Purdue's system, especially, like you're gonna have more defined rules, I think, probably than what he had of what he's supposed to do in those types of any type of defensive situation. And so it almost makes it a little bit easier because you know what's coming. But would have liked to see him get back in the play there. That's deep. Good board. Timeout. All right. Does YNG let this play out? 6-second differential on the shot clock. Down one. I guess I don't know the rules about advancing the ball. I guess you play it out. But I would foul. I think I would foul. Yep, good pass. And I mean, they fouled anyways. Coldhart's going that early though. But good pass there from Catchings. Nothing crazy, but did what he's supposed to do. He missed the first. So I guess I'll show this at this point. End of the game. Makes it. Okay. Down two, or up two. 13 seconds left. Timeout. I have no clue how this game ends, to be honest. Like, I have no clue if this shot goes in. Hey, I'm doing the same thing as those guys in the right corner right here. Oh. Wow. What a shot. 4 seconds. And wait, what? All right. That's not Catchings, but we're seeing this. Alrighty. So yeah, that was the Catchings game. He ended that game with 17 points, 7 rebounds, had a dunk, 3 of 5 from 2, 3 of 6 from 3, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, only 1 turnover. So yeah, I mean that was that, and like I said, I said this earlier of like that's kind of quote unquote like a closer to average game in terms of production value. And obviously an average game for a good player is still going to be a good result. But good to see him be able to do, I think the key takeaway from that game, and I am going to watch more, probably offline because get through it a little bit quicker. But the shooting's going to translate. I feel confident with that translating day one. I think, I don't know if he's going to be a guy you run off pin downs and all that right away, but he's a guy that I think you can hit in transition, get open looks for. He's going to knock down. I would like to see a little bit more driving in terms of attacking closeouts and not just settling for a one dribble pull up, get all the way to the rim, but showed a lot of good stuff on the rebounding front as well. In terms of attacking the glass, I liked. Defensive rotations were up and down. Some of it is cold hearts in general. Some of it I think is him and just stuff he needs to work on. So that is going to do it, I think, there. I do appreciate everybody tuning in once again. You can follow me on Twitter at JoeJacksonCBB. I'll have a thread out on catchings probably in like an hour and a half. But yeah, I'll have that out. The tentative plan is to do this again tomorrow for Jakari Harris, another Purdue guy. Right now, I'm kind of just rotating through teams so that way I can get teams done so I can make videos, some behind the scenes stuff. But like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you've enjoyed this, it went pretty well in my opinion. There's still probably stuff to improve on, but it went pretty well. So I plan on doing a lot more of these. I'm going to have some YouTube videos out also just in general. Should hopefully get an ED one out tomorrow. So definitely like and subscribe just to get those notifications and see what's going on. Appreciate everybody tuning in, and we will catch you in the next one.